know, man. This was such a fantastic game. You know what? I'm about to go play it again. I'll be right back.
10 hours later.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that game right there, that like reignited a flame in my heart I didn't know I had in terms of turn-based RPG games. This game literally made me buy, back on the Xbox, I had bought the Final Fantasy VI on my PlayStation, but I couldn't play it because of the pixels. But this game just made me buy freaking Final Fantasy X and X2. I'm probably gonna get to that later in the summertime, but that's not the point of this video. This game is such a phenomenal game across the board, coming from the story, coming from the characters, from the music, from the combat, from the just everything, man. So let's just start this off right now, because I'm about to absolutely vent on how much I love this freaking game. So difficulty wise, because of how much of a grind that this game actually is, I'm gonna give it about I want to give it about a 6.5 out of 10. And the only reason why it's like sort of higher than like a 4 or a 5 is because there are quite a few missable trophies in here that you can absolutely miss. Make sure, if you guys are attempting this platinum, to take your freaking time and do everything right from the prologue. Do not, I repeat, do not think that you can come back to all areas. You won't. I'm trying to tell you right now. Yeah, you can start a new game, but this is where we talk about the, I believe it's called the Connoisseur Trophy, where you have to collect all 33 records. There is a part in the prologue which requires you to talk to all 3 of the people and the tents. I wish I had a picture. I'm going to try to find a picture of it and put it up on the screen. But you have to give them a special coin, and one of the ladies gives you an old key. And I'm so glad, because she was the last lady I had to talk to before I continued on. But I had to fight Mael for like the second time. And man, there are so many people that did not get that old key from her. But when I realized that my last music record was that, and I actually had the old key, my heart just sunk into my stomach. I was like, thank God I was not rushing. But another one could be a peculiar encounter, where there's actually a mime right at the beginning of the game, which I don't know how I missed that, because I know for a fact I walked everywhere, but apparently that was a lie. That was a fallacy. So, yeah, man. So, what did I say? Difficulty was a 6.5, and the enjoyment is a goddamn 33 out of 10. Let me stop. No, but it's a 10 out of 10 for me, man. I had absolutely no problems with this game, bro, at all. Coming from any bug, I didn't run across any bugs. My game didn't even crash at all throughout my entire playthrough. The combat was so expansive and innovating in a way that I never came across before. And I saved this video from when I first beat the game on Xbox, because I knew I was going to do this back in like, I think it was like May or June or something like that. But this is a game that made a statement that I wasn't quite prepared for. Because when I first saw this game, I thought it was a mixture of like Folklore, it was an old PS3 game, and Dark Souls. But no, this is kind of really its own thing. But I think that my favorite character in here would have to be either CL or, of course, Monaco. Who the fuck doesn't love Monaco? That guy is insane. He's, I ain't gonna say insane, but he's so derpy to the point where he has this serious tone, this serious like narration about himself, and then he just says like, nice feet. Oh, that's some gorgeous feet. It's just like, whoa, wait, hold on, wait, buddy, hold on, let's talk about this. And he's a gestural, so it's just insane, bro. And then CL, I love how real she is. Like, yeah, you know, this might be spoilers for some people in regards to her story, but yeah, you know, her husband died, and she tried to drown herself, and she didn't realize that she was pregnant, so she ended up losing the baby. And on top of that, like, this is, you know, possibly her last year living, and she has this chill vibe, like this vibe that's so like, yeah, shit happens, but how's your day? I like those boots. It's like, it's so, I just love her character. It's like, I don't know, man. And then on top of that, she's like super freaking flirty, like times 10. So yeah, I'd say she's like my favorite female between Lune and Mael. Cause yeah, yeah, love that woman. I didn't quite understand how to play as her just yet until I started to use her, not use her, but when I started to look at the trophies and try to figure out what sort of special trophy about her, like what it required. And then I learned how I have to mix the sun and the moon to create twilight, but I have to create stacks to increase the damage, and it goes up to 20. And if you have 20 stacks and you're in twilight mode, that increases your damage times 100. I think it's either times 100 or times 200. But yeah, she was probably one of the characters I didn't quite get. Minoko was pretty self-explanatory. You really just had to. Okay, so with Minoko is a shapeshifter. Okay, and he basically turns into every single Nevron that you go against. Not quite all of them, but his skill tree works a little different. You have to kill enemies while he's in the party so that he acquires a skill. And then he has a weapon wheel that randomly selects which Nevron is sort of, basically whichever one the weapon wheel is corresponding to in terms of the Nevron, that would give you a boost in damage and possibly another turn as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, this game was just a lovely experience. Let's talk about Simon for a second. Why? Why is he like that? And the fact that he is supposed to kill your entire first expedition, the first 3 people of your team, like that is a requirement. He has to wipe your entire team in order for you to go into the third phase. So what I tried to do is I tried to play it differently to how I have Mael sort of be in the second expedition, but I couldn't. I had to play the game exactly how I started the game, which was Verso, which was Gustav before you know what happened. Verso, Lune, and Mael, those were my first 3. And then when Simon wiped me, I could only play as CL and Minoko. And those 2 are my weakest characters because I don't usually play as them. And when I tell you that once he did that made my gameplay or the battle between him like an extra 15 minutes long. It was, I was so locked in. I even have a video that I'm going to put towards the end of this so that you guys can see that whole battle. It was like almost a 30-minute battle of just torture. And it was unbelievable. There is a survival mode in here too. Not survival mode, but there's like a sort of, what do you call it from Kingdom Hearts with the Coliseum? Like a challenge thing where you go up the ladder. And towards the end of it, you have to go against the parents, both of them at the same time. The bosses in this game is just unbelievably so creative. And it's just this, it has this eerie just feeling about the atmosphere of how these enemies just attack you. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I don't even want them to try to make more DLC, a sequel. No, just leave this as the masterpiece as what it is. It's fantastic, and I wouldn't change a fucking thing about this game. I'm trying to think of something that probably bothered me, but I really cannot find anything that bothers me with this game. I looked forward to playing it, other than the fact that the game was hard at certain points with certain bosses. But yeah, man, I highly recommend you guys play this game. I'm trying to think if I missed anything in terms of covering everything, but I think I jotted down all that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, man, make sure you guys leave a comment down below what you guys think of this game. And I couldn't live stream this because some of the music was copyright, which made me sad. But just let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about Expedition 33, if you've played it or if you're interested in playing it. Let me know. Leave a like or a dislike as to your liking, as always, and subscribe because I need that. Radiator, shut up. Jesus, you're loud. I was probably doing that the entire video.